Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. Today I'm putting together a crescent-shaped bouquet and a matching boutonniere. I'm starting off by prepping all my flowers. I have some large roses that I separated the stems from and removed the leaves. The same with some variegated hydrangea over there. I have this kind of steely blue flower that they called a hydrangea, but I don't think it's a hydrangea, that I'm actually leaving the leaves on that one. But I did have to add a wire to elongate the stem. I have some purple lavender that I'm going to pull off some of the leaves so I have a nice clean stem to work with, and I don't have to fight over any flowers or have like a messy handle when I'm putting it together. Some white spray roses that I'll separate and trying to remove the leaves from. And I will also elongate the stem on that one too by making a hairpin out of an 18 gauge wire, wrapping it around the stem and itself, and then covering my mechanics with the wax floral tape. I have some spiral eucalyptus I think I snuck by there. And then I have this base of greenery that I've removed all the long tails from, used them on a different project, didn't throw this away, and I'm so happy I didn't. So I'm going to use that base as almost like an armature to hold my crescent shape. And the spiral eucalyptus, a little bit more greenery on either side to get that crescent shape started. And I'm going to work the larger variegated purple hydrangeas into the center. So all this is just kind of making a base for me to work my flowers into, so I can keep that crescent shape. I don't get lost with what I'm doing and the flowers stay where they're at. However, in the meantime, the flowers I was using to hold the other flowers were spinning in my hand, so that's just not going to work. So I tied it off with some wax floral tape to hold everything in place. And then once I get all that situated, I can just weave in my flowers. Essentially, what I'm doing is I have a crescent shape of greenery. I'll make a crescent shape of all purple. I'll make a crescent shape of that steely blue, and then I'll make a crescent shape of all white. So I want my focal in the center. I'm going to put my bigger flowers in the center. More of the color will be concentrated towards the center. So that's going to be the fullest part of the bouquet. As I work the flowers to the outside, I'm going to pull them away from the center more, kind of like a pebble being thrown into the water. The ripples are tighter towards the center. So once the flowers get towards the outside, they're going to be spread apart a little bit further. Hopefully that made sense. You can kind of see it being done here, how they're closer together in the center, further apart as they get further away from the center of the bouquet. Whew, that was a mouthful. I'm working the larger roses in at different heights, so it kind of gives that fresh pick look. It also creates a different texture, so it's not all one big ball towards the center. And then working the spray roses towards the outside, spreading them out a little bit further as they go along. And I'll work in the lavender as well. So the crescent shape is an interesting shape, and I like it a lot with brides who have a fuller dress at the base. It kind of complements that arched shape that the dress will make, and it also leaves the front of the dress exposed, so you're not covering up that beautiful, expensive dress. In the front there, you're just kind of complementing it. So if you spent a lot of money on your dress and you really want to show it off, I'd recommend a crescent shape. I do like to make it kind of offset, so one side is longer than the other. Again, it's just kind of an interesting shape, kind of pleasing to the eye. It's not going to distract from your dress. It's just going to help accentuate it. So I tied it off. I like tying it off with a chenille stump. I had that 18 gauge wire that I used to tie it off with, and then I did a little bit more fluffing off camera. So that was the crescent shaped bouquet. Moving on to the boutonniere. If you ever wonder to yourself, how am I going to make a boutonniere that ties into the bouquet? Just grab a few little flowers from the bouquet. Well, not directly from the bouquet, but a few flowers that you used from the bouquet. And just tie a little wire around them and cover your mechanics with the wax floral tape. Or you can just get the colors too. So like I have a small white rose there, some of the variegated purple hydrangea. I don't have any more of that steely blue color, so I'm going to use a ribbon to incorporate that color. Ooh, quick tip. They sell those little green leaves at any hobby store in the wedding section, and those are great for boutonnieres and corsages because you don't have to prep them ahead of time. So I usually use about 3 of those leaves on boutonnieres, 5 of them on corsages, and you can make your shape very nicely using those. So just a little cheat there. Actually, I'll put a link in the description so maybe I can find it on Amazon if you guys wanted those leaves too. But once I have everything all prepped and ready to go, I will just kind of bundle them together in just a little, like a little bouquet that you pin onto your lapel. And I'll tie it off with some wax floral tape. I'll measure about 4 fingers down on the stem. And it's up to you if you want to do a little curl on the tail at the end there. Sometimes you can just, or sometimes I leave it straight, but usually I like giving it a little curl, just to give it a little pizzazz. But there we go. We've got a matching boutonniere and the beautiful crescent shape bouquet, and you're all ready for your wedding. Thank you for tuning in.